They say yellow. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Okay, maybe I need to pull this thing out. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me now? How you like me now? Is your phone turned up? Oh, yeah. Okay. Testing, testing. Trying to see if anyone can hear us out there in the world. Anyone, anyone, anyone. Let me check mine. Your phone jamming. Let me see here. And it should be. Let's see. Oh, let's go.
Together, y'all.
I think those
Testing,
mics
testing, testing.
wasn't turned up.
Okay, now it
Okay,
is.
I think
Something was it.
those mics weren't turned up.
Okay. Because usually I hear it with the thing on my. Something was it.
Mics weren't turned up.
Okay.
Turned up. Turned up. Oh.
It's turned up.
All right. All right.
Okay.
Well, you ready? You ready?
Oh, let me turn mine down.
Yeah. Happy Thursday to you and welcome to Marriage Connection. I am Pastor Ray.
And I'm Pastor Felicia.
And we are here live in Scissortail Park. And it seemed like as soon as we pressed record, the wind picked up. So if we end up in the land of Oz, you know what happened. Lord have mercy. Well, hello, dear.
Hey, hey, hey.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good, good, good. Hello, everybody. Hey, tell somebody about this tonight. We're going to be talking about something pretty juicy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're going to be talking about the top 5 things that causes marriage failure.
Yeah.
It causes marriages to fail. And we say top 5, you know, it may be another top 5, you know, with someone else. This is not an exhausted list. No. It's just 5 that we found to be pretty important, and that causes, you know, marriages to fail. So tell someone, call your auntie, your uncle, your baby mama, somebody, and oh wait a minute, maybe not baby mama.
No, might not want that one.
Okay. All right. So, man, this is it feels real good out here. We're going to be on for a few minutes to go through this list, but we hope that there's something said that can help you get some insight on maybe some things that you might be going through, or some things that you may end up going through. At least you have the tools in your box to be able to help you through it. And so not only do we want to share the 5 things, but we also want to share, you know, how to fix those things, you know, as well. You know, listen, 37 years of marriage, and it hasn't been all good. You know, we were just talking before we got on, and you was just sharing deeply, you know, with me.
We had a whole podcast before we started.
We had a podcast before the podcast, you know, and it was some, man, wow, you know. And being young, sometimes you don't know when you look back and hear something that you either did, you said, you know, and it causes you to go, wow, what? Wait a minute, that was me. I did that. I said that, you know. But the main thing is being able to open up, communicate, share, because that's how you get through things.
Yeah,
so we're gonna go through these 5 things, and the top one. Well, I'll put it like this: number 1 on our list is poor communication. Poor communication. What do you think about that?
Well, especially we got married around, what, 25?
We was 25.
25 going on 26. And with the mindset that we had, we didn't know what marriage was about.
No. I mean, I'd never seen it displayed,
Yeah.
at all. And so, we were trying to figure it out. We didn't get a handbook, or anything on that. Counseling, didn't get anything on that. And we were trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But what happens is when couples stop talking, they stop listening, it just causes a lot of things, and when you're in a relationship and the only reason why you're communicating is because something's wrong, then something is wrong. Then something is wrong, And so poor communication can lead to a lot of things. And
It's more like a power struggle.
Yeah.
Fighting who's the one in charge.
Well, when you have people coming from
Yeah.
different worlds,
Yeah.
different, behaviors, mindset, family backgrounds and all of that, our family, we screamed and hollered. Yours, y'all were silent and, and calm and, time out maybe or something like that. I don't know. But, when you're coming from those two different places and you come together under one roof, and things happen, you tend to lean toward what you have been taught, what you've seen, and what you believe to be the right way to do it. And a lot of times you find out years later that it wasn't the right way to do it. So
Screaming, hollering at the kids.
Yeah.
But, I just say, listen, if no one's dying and there's no blood, if they even messing with the doorknob or almost taking the doorknob off, if they're happy and quiet, but you,
oh man,
get off the doorknob, sit down, screaming and just all the time. That'll get your blood pressure up.
Yep. Well, because whenever small communication becomes big offense, then there's something going on somewhere. There is a place where this is a place where you need to pause, but a lot of times you don't know how to pause because this has been your norm. This is how you do, and the way you do, and all of that. And so poor communication, and here's some signs of poor communication: constant arguing. Okay, just constantly arguing. Okay, walking on eggshells. When you are in a household to where you feel like you can't really share how you really feel, that's not good. Because in a marriage you should be able to talk openly. If you can't talk to anyone, you should be able to talk to your spouse. Feeling unheard and misunderstood. And I know there were a lot of times that you felt unheard and misunderstood.
Yeah, I think during that time, you had just got off of drugs.
Yeah.
And so the conversation when we was talking earlier was more like who shot somebody and drinking and smoking weed and things like that.
Yeah.
And so when I was talking, it was like I was talking in a foreign language. Well, we talked about too. We got married that night of our marriage. You went on with your.
I went and played basketball that evening.
Our wedding night. So the first thing I was thinking when you left, I was like, "Oh my God, what did I get myself into?"
Yeah, I mean, I was still.
If he didn't know that part, what else he doesn't know?
I know. I mean,
that was scary.
I know. I was still, and when we talked about that, I was like, "What?"
That was very scary.
I mean, and
that to think that way on your wedding night, like, oh my God, what have I done?
Yeah. I mean, and it could have been too. I mean, on wedding nights, and we're just going to open it up, okay? On wedding nights, in other cultures or whatever the case may be, back in the day or whatever, it was important because it was consummation. You consummated the marriage with sex, But nowadays, you're having sex before
so
marriage.
The wedding night was
so the wedding night wasn't,
Yeah.
And maybe that's I don't know.
You had that mindset as your family comes first.
Well, yeah,
I was. Deal with that a whole lot.
I was, yeah.
If we couldn't pay a bill, we'll pay someone else's bill in your family, and we'll suffer. I mean, you just.
Yeah. Well, it was a particular person. It wasn't just anybody. It was a particular one, and because that, and I get it. I was wrong. I was supposed to put my family first, my wife first, and all of that. But I come from a family that I had a bond that was real strong.
Yeah.
And especially with this individual, it was a strong bond. and but it doesn't justify and take away from what I should have done, right? So listen, y'all, I don't know, you may be hearing all kind of birds, and we had a bird as an audience earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, landed on our camera and was just looking at us while we talked, and so we were like, okay, we got an audience. But yeah, that was crazy, and then it creates poor communication creates emotional distance, and that's a bad thing. So number one, poor communication. So how do you fix this? How do you fix it? One of the things you said earlier is that when they're young, you can't fix it.
You can't, when they think they know it,
think they know, you can't fix it. But I would advise getting some type of wise counsel. We didn't know. I'm not saying there wasn't anyone, because I knew there was. We just didn't know anyone. And then we didn't reach out to institutions and other places to, get marriage counseling. But I would advise someone that may be dealing with, maybe poor communication to the point to where it's getting pretty bad. Get some help. Go get some help. And definitely, if it comes to the point to where there's it becomes physical, then you definitely not only need to get some help, you need to get some distance.
The church didn't have a lot of, not saying nobody could help us.
Yeah, no.
But the church was a little more spiritual.
Yeah, yes.
If I can say it that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
It trying to be biblical with it, and some of the stuff was off.
Yeah.
And I think it was making matters worse.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
I think that's why we didn't really consult.
Yeah, definitely.
Couldn't find that many people.
Yeah. So how do you fix this? Learn to understand before trying to be understood. And I think that was in that. Was that? I think it was Stephen Covey, the book that. We read that book years ago, and he was talking about. Instead of trying to be understood, instead of wanting somebody to understand you, understand them. So that means you have to listen, right? So, get understanding first, right? Get understanding, and the only way to get understanding is you got to open up your ears and you got to listen without interrupting. You heard the conversation to where one is talking and trying to make a point, this, that, and then the other one interrupts because they got a point they're trying to make because of what they just said and all of that. That is a poor way to communicate.
Yeah, it is.
It's a poor way to communicate. So you have to listen without interruption. And then you have to talk about feelings, not just facts.
Yeah.
Talk about feelings. Okay, yes, a fact that happened, but okay, talk about how it made you feel. And then listen to the other individual that's sharing about how it made them feel. Because one thing that we can't do, and I often hear a lot of people saying that, you shouldn't feel that way. Well, how can we tell someone how they shouldn't feel?
Yeah.
We're not in them.
That goes back to getting married in mature age.
Immature, yeah, definitely.
You would never think about conversations like that.
Well, and then here's another part on fixing it: schedule regular conversations. Not holding conversations about something in the heat of the moment. Have times. Now we have a calendar, and on our calendar we have certain things, because the worst time to try to hold a conversation about something or resolve something is in the heat of the moment.
Yeah,
it's just the other person is not hearing, and then the emotions are involved and all of these different things, and that's not good. So address the problem early instead of storing it. Instead of storing it up, address it early. So so the Bible talks about in James 1:19, let every man be quick to hear and slow to speak and slow to anger, slow to wrath. You're supposed to be quick first, quick to hear. So I'm supposed to be not quick to talk, but quick to hear. Let me be quick to hear what you're trying to say. Let me be quick to understand what you're trying to say, as opposed to being understood. So that's number one.
A lot of times when you have a mate, if you don't know about them before you marry them, some things about you I didn't know till after I married you.
Yeah.
what the conversation was. And so you get to the point where you know that person, so you'll get to the point where what's the use? I know where they are, so I know they're not going to understand it.
And here's the thing. This is why the dating process and dating with a purpose is so important.
Very much.
You know, as opposed to the infatuation stage, you know. And so that's important. And we never really sat down and talked, conversated, you know, and all of that. There was times that we did have conversations. We talk on the phone and different things like that. But the conversation wasn't really about, you know, life.
No.
It really wasn't. It wasn't about life.
When we first got married, you was in the drug world, so it was impossible.
And you didn't even know I was on drugs when we got married.
I did. Eventually, I did.
Yeah, you did afterwards. Yeah. You didn't even know. Yeah. I was a functional user.
I knew you were smoking weed.
Oh, yeah, most definitely that. But
I know you got high every day.
You know I smoked
I know
weed,
that part.
but not crack, you know.
No.
You didn't know I was on crack, you know, and all that, you know. So, but, yeah, it's vital. And, you know, boy, when we say if it wasn't for the grace of God, the grace of God, man. Number 2, unresolved conflict and bitterness.
Yeah,
that's a cause too for you know, for marriages to fail. Unresolved conflict and bitterness. And it says, what causes failure? Arguments aren't the problem. Unresolved arguments are. So it's arguments are not the problem. It's when they are unresolved. You know, and sometimes that's a you got to work that. You have to be able to sit down and allow the communication of one another, you know, without interruption, without offense, and all of that, so that you can really understand where that individual is coming from, and then come up with a solution together. We're going to get to some other part that we talked about on last week, because it ties all of this together, you know, as well. So couples began keeping scores. You always this, or you never this, you know, bringing up old wounds, you know, then silent treatment. The silent treatment. That's one of the dangerous, you know, things when it comes to marriage, you know. So eventually resentment replaces affection.
It does.
You become so resentful, you know, toward one another or toward your spouse or whatever, to the point to where it takes the place of affection. The affection is no longer there, because it's almost like your heart is hard. You know, your heart is hard, and so how do you fix this? You fight the problem, not each other. You fight the problem, not each other. Forgive often. Forgive. And I think both of us have gone through that, forgiving one another, forgiving.
But, you know, we're going through this different ones, but a lot of the time this stuff takes years.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
It's the process is not easy. I think each one has knowledge on some points.
Yes.
That the other person just do not listen.
Yes.
And that's where that what's that word you just said? The bitterness comes from.
The bitterness, yes.
Of years of, you know, neither one of us is perfect, but someone does have the answer.
Yes.
And when the person that does have the answer, they know they have it. But the other partner's
not listening.
Not listening.
Yeah.
It can cause frustration.
Yeah.
It can cause, but the problem is it takes years of getting it straight. So you're going through years of this frustration and bitterness, and then once the bitterness set in, it's hard to just break it in one conversation. You have to really just.
It is.
Because one partner, or both, because you both starts out immature. One grow faster than the other. Maybe they may catch up eventually, whatever. But that's still a process of years. And then some people just can't wait that long.
And you know, and that's a serious thing. And this is where God comes in.
Yeah.
This is where the Spirit of God comes in, because He can do things a lot faster. You know. Than we can even imagine, and it all depends on you know, getting the help that's needed. You know, and we'll deal with that, you know, a little bit. Stop keeping record of wrong. Apologize quickly. Learn healthy conflict resolution. You know, so that's how you fix unresolved conflict and bitterness. You have to take steps somewhere. You have to get some type of, instead of trying to figure it out on your own, you need to go and reach out. And I think that's where we messed up. We didn't really reach out and try to go explore to see where we could get the help, because we could have got to where we got a lot sooner had we had wise counsels. The Bible says in the multitude of counsels there's safety.
We went to different marriage, like I said, and we were in the church. And I'm not knocking church.
Yeah.
But a lot of the ways that the church was teaching was not helping.
Well, I'm talking about outside of the church.
See, I was saying we were in the church.
Yeah.
And in them days, you get stuck in the church.
Yep.
And they make you feel like outside.
It's bad for you to go outside the church.
We're young trying to figure this out, but you can't go outside the church.
Yeah.
This is the only way. You trust God and you just make it. And back then, it wasn't, therapy was just terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Therapy was a bad thing.
Yeah.
You know, you don't go to therapy, you go to God, which is, you do go to God.
Yeah.
But then sometimes you just don't have that faith.
Well, I think therapy made sometimes, I can't speak for everyone, but therapy sometimes make people think that they don't trust God.
Yes.
When he can use the therapy to help you through it.
The stage when we were going through things, it was in a bad time.
Oh, yes.
It was a bad time. To find help was very hard.
Yeah.
But the only thing that helped us, we had to grow up. Like I said, take years. And now if I say something to you now, what would happen? You'd be like, well, that was me? Because you were talking from an immature mind. And now that your mind matured, you can't see yourself doing what you was doing. You can't see, like, what was wrong with me? Why was I talking like that? Why didn't I listen? You say it now. But then when you started saying that, I think we first started talking about it, and you start understanding what I was after the fact, things all blowed up and messed up. It caused me to have bitter now. Okay, now you know. You know. And
that's crazy. That's crazy because we, like you said, we were both immature in so many areas. There were times where, oh my God, I mean, I felt embarrassed. I did. I'm talking about, I felt embarrassed, sometimes when we were with other people, and I don't know what was going on with you, but it was, certain things that you did that was like, even other people seen it, that wasn't really, okay, what was it, and because we were young.
I think sometimes when you're going through so much in a marriage, you around other people, some things just come out. Some things you're dealing and trying to cover up.
Well, you're trying to figure it out.
You're
trying to figure it out as you go. That's the thing. You're trying to figure it out as you go. But here's a biblical principle: do not let the sun go down on your wrath. And I remember times where we laid down in the bed and back to back. Didn't say nothing.
Well, at least you never was on the couch.
Well, no, thank the Lord.
And we had a big bed.
Yep, I never was on
California.
the couch. Yeah. We were just on the other end of the world.
Yes.
Oh, man. But, so marriage connection, bitterness is what happens when pain is left unattended. That's what happens. When pain is left unattended, when you're in pain for that period of time, for that length of time, it's left unattended, bitterness begins to set in.
Because something could happen at the age 23. Okay, we 62 years old, but we still looking at age 23 what happened. And we got to understand, we're not that person anymore. Most
definitely.
And then you have to talk about it.
Yeah, you do.
You really have to.
Openly,
What you did at that, because I can remember some things I did, and I can think, oh my God, I can't believe I did that.
Yes.
But I'm not that person, and I can't even see myself being that person.
I know.
But sometimes the other maid still see that part. Don't know you done grown from it. You done grew up. Sometimes they want an explanation. Sometimes they want to know why you did it, and sometimes you don't have an answer.
And that's okay. Sometimes the answer is I don't even know why. Because you're in a mindset. You were in that time. You were
immature.
You were immature. So sometimes you don't have the answer. I don't know why I did that. I just did it. And that's the crazy part about it.
And you're not the same person.
No.
That whatever the situation was, you're not the same person.
Yeah.
So you should be able to talk about it.
Yeah,
now, if you can't talk about it, there's still some immaturity there.
There's. And because there should, between a couple, between you and I, there shouldn't be any shame about anything that we talk about, anything that we've done, no matter how belittling that it may make you feel. You know that individual is sharing that from their heart, not to make you feel that way. You know,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
but yeah. So number 3.
I'm gonna hear something
I'm
banging.
hearing, I don't know what that is, something dragging or something. But anyway, number 3, lack of emotional and physical intimacy. What causes failures? Couples become roommates instead of lovers. The roommate thing, you know, to where, you know, especially if you got 2 people, they working in the house, and, you know, they go to work every day. You know, they get up in the morning, brush their teeth, eat breakfast, maybe peck each other, whatever, if they do that. Leave, you know, go to work 8 hours, come back home, you know, cook dinner, do this, that, and the other. Go through the same old thing over again, you know, day after day, you know, and year after year. I don't know if that's, let me turn mine, because it sounds like somebody's dragging chairs or something.
It does a little
I do
bit.
know they setting up for something that's getting ready to go on. But anyway, they become roommates instead of lovers. Life gets busy. Children, work, stress, ministry, you know, all of that, finances, all of that, you know, comes into play. And before you know it, you get in this routine of trying to make ends meet and trying to keep up with this and trying to take care of the kids and all of that. And before you know it, there's no time. You've lost time keeping and creating that intimacy, you know, to keeping that bond of love and peace and all of that. And it's just one thing after another. So the relationship moves to the bottom of the priority list.
It does.
It does. It moves to the bottom. And we know raising 6 kids and all of that, oh my world, you know, that was a lot. But we did good. I mean, you know, dealing with 6 kids, you know, especially in the summer when they were at home all day, you know, when they weren't working, you know, you did pretty good, you know, keeping that together, keeping that together. So how do you fix this? You pursue each other intentionally. You know, you date again, and a lot of you may be wondering, you know, every time you look up, we're making changes, we're doing stuff like this. This is different, but this is our way of making it not only a connection with you, we're making a connection with one another. Because when we get off from here, we've got our e-bikes. We're going to ride a little while and do a little sitting and talking and all of that. So, and some of you have been on our little journey that we've been on, but you have to make time, you know, for one another. It has to be intentional.
You both, because we the opposites.
Yeah.
And so you find something that you both love to do together.
Yeah.
And that will build your relationship, not, you know, gloating on, and some people say opposite attract. We opposite in a lot of ways. But we're finding things, church is one of the things that we do together.
Yeah.
Bike riding, we finally over the years.
Yes.
Camping and traveling. So we found a lot of things we do together now. But when we first got married, it was just,
man,
we didn't.
Yeah. It was like night and day. It was like night and day, because you weren't athletic or you didn't do it. Oh my God, it was
Well, I'm still not athletic now.
Yeah.
But I do love camping. I do.
You like outdoors.
I love outdoors. Yes.
You like outdoors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not what you was trying to do. What was that day? You had me going down hills and.
Oh, that was
Oh my God.
This girl,
I'm not like that.
Lord have mercy. She funny. She funny. So you have to date regularly. You have to hold hands. You have to pray together. You have to laugh together. Oh man. You have to maintain affection and healthy sexual intimacy, and then continue learning who your spouse is becoming, because we are still becoming. You know, I'm a different person now than I was last year. We're still becoming, you know, and so, but you know, we have to learn one another. We have to pay attention to one another, and we have to see that. So the two shall become one. That shall become one. They're not one.
You have to. I don't know which way to say this. Clean all the trash out so you can know each other from where they are now.
Oh yeah.
sometimes.
So what do you mean?
It's going back to what I said before. You're still holding on to the trash.
Yes, you gotta let that go.
You gotta let that go because now, because you're missing out of the person they become now. And so if you keep holding on to the past, then you're gonna miss out on so much. And what we did is we let go of the past.
Yes.
And connect, from where we are at age 62,
Yes.
Stuff like that.
Well, one of the things that you got to realize that you have to forgive quickly. You have to let things go. Because like you said, what was done in an immature state. And as long as you've seen change, because sometimes now if you haven't seen any change, then that's another issue right there. You definitely need to get some help. But if you've seen the evolution and the change happening in your spouse, down through the years to where they're not that person that they used to be, that immature person that they used to be, that selfish person that they used to be, and so forth, then there's hope.
That is.
There's hope. So financial pressure and different priorities. Ooh, we talked about that. Lord, Yando.
Should we talk about it? Or should we
Yando
not?
Shando on a Kawasaki.
No, get spiritual about this one. This was a huge
I hear the
one.
Lord saying it's time to end the podcast. Listen. We were just talking about this, and man, y'all just would not believe it. Y'all would not believe it. This was a terrible experience. For both of us.
No,
it was for both of us.
For me. It was terrible for you. No, it wasn't terrible for you. It was terrible for me.
Oh, man.
I'm a money budgeter, and you would just spend.
Splurge, spend, all of that. You saved up like $30,000 within I think it was a year, maybe.
You got to the point because we were poor for a long time.
Yeah, we were broke.
Broke.
People didn't know it. We just looked like
we never looked like
because you still budgeted and we kept ends meet. We paid bills. We never got anything repoed or turned off or nothing like that. But overnight, you started making money. Oh my God!
And you came to me and said, "I'm tired of your budget. We ain't gonna do budget no more. And I'm gonna give you an allowance, and I'm keeping all the money." And I was like, oh my God, we are messed up. We're in trouble.
Oh, man.
So I prayed. I said, listen, God, give me a strategy. So the strategy was, I said, okay, let's try this. Whatever you get paid, cut the money in half after all the bills are paid. And you keep your half, and you agreed to that. But I ended up saving up then $30,000, and you had zero.
Yeah.
Then you thought that I was messing with the money. And put money in my account, but when we split the money in half, you knew what you made. You knew it was cut in half.
Yep, I did.
And so that's one regret that you just really.
Oh man, I did. I regret.
Man,
oh my God.
That $30,000 could have been $60,000 at that time. If I would have had that both money, know. But that was hard.
It was hard, and that's what happens when you go as a man. You're going to work, and you 6 kids now. We got a household full of 6 kids, with water bills. I mean, that was a lot. I had, we were barely making it, but we were making it.
Yeah.
Nothing, like I said, never got cut off. We always had a nice vehicle, and and people didn't know, but because the way you budgeted money, but because I was had no money in my pocket for so long. When I got to that point, oh no, Negro, you can't tell me nothing.
I'm gonna give you an allowance. I'm keeping all my money. I'm tired of your stupid budget. I was like, oh, we in trouble. Oh, I got so depressed.
Oh man,
because I know you spend and you give all the money away.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I hurried up, had a plan, and that's the only thing I can think of.
Well, God, in His mercy, He saw us through it. And Lord Jesus, I thank you that we will never return to that place again. And thank you, Jesus. We survived it.
We did.
We survived. Thank you for being a good budgeter. And you're not gonna shake my hand?
Are we in the wrong hand?
It's okay. It's okay.
You gonna give me the other hand?
Okay. Why? Okay. Why is it the right hand? See there we go. See. So why does that?
Because this is where people shake hands, the right hand.
Why can't you do it with the left hand?
See. Wait. When you taking somebody's hand, do you do your left hand out?
No.
Okay, see, that's what God's coming at. I'm trying
I
to tell you
know,
the right thing.
but I'm just saying. But who said? I'm just saying. Who said that the right way to shake hands was to do it with the right hand?
Okay, let's do that from now on. I want you to reach your hand out to somebody next
No.
time. Reach your left hand out and see if somebody gonna grab it.
Oh man, that's funny. Oh wow. So how do you? So financial pressure and different priorities. Okay, money isn't usually the problem. Different values and expectations are.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is. You know, I didn't know how to budget all of that. You taught
No.
me how to budget. You know, you taught me how to save. Eventually, I got to the point to where, okay, now I get it. Okay, this is what we need to do, and we began to come together and do that. You know, but it talks about conflict develops over spending habits, debt, savings, lifestyle expectations. We went through that. So financial stress often exposes deeper issues involving trust and security.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
Yeah. I was trying to get
That was deep.
security.
Yep.
And he was trying to spend.
And it was deep. It was. I had insecurities.
You had something.
It's my money and I want it now. Oh man. So how do you fix this? Okay. Become
for 'em.
financial partners.
Yeah.
Not financial opponents.
Yeah. That's good.
That's really good. Become financial partners and not financial opponents. So listen to that. This is going to help you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So create budgets together, set goals together, be transparent. Okay, be for real. You know about what's going on with finances. Avoid financial secrets.
Oh yeah.
You got folk that be hiding stashes. They got a little stash over here. Make major decisions together.
One thing about it, if we spend any money, it's gonna come up on both our phones.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So,
Oh, yeah.
you're like, where's that $60 come from? I just saw
Yeah.
some $60 come from my phone. So, there's no way you can mess up any money.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No, you can't. No, there's no way. And we always talk to each other about, especially if it's something major. We make those decisions together. Biblical principle. Okay, can two walk together unless they be in agreement? Nah. They have to agree. Okay. So marriage connection. Here's a thought. Money problems are often money problems are often agreement problems. That's what money problems are. Agreements. Having a struggle with agreeing. So that money problem is an agreeing problem.
And if there's a money problem, you agree that, okay, I'm gonna spend less over here. I'm going to do without this.
Yes.
You
Yes.
got to sit down and talk about the spending
Yes.
on both parts and see, okay, what can we sacrifice?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to sacrifice this here and you can sacrifice over here.
Yes.
And making sure we both are being in agreement. It's not like,
Yes.
well, I don't care. We figured out some kind of way. I'm still going to do this or
Yeah,
whatever.
and then be struggling.
And then struggling.
Yeah.
So it should not be a part of,
Yeah.
to the point of struggling. You both
Yeah.
got to work together and make it work.
Yep, got to work together. Number 5, said 5,
It's-
and a bonus. Number 5, spiritual drift. What causes failure? A marriage may still look healthy outwardly, while the spiritual connection slowly weakens.
Wow.
Yeah. So this means couples stop praying together, seeking God together, attending church together, growing spiritually. And this is why it's vitally important for couples to have prayer time together, have Bible study time together, have time together where they sit and talk about, those spiritual things, because what happens is there becomes an imbalance in the spiritual alignment level or whatever the case may be. And that's what can cause separation. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what can cause separation. Okay, eventually two people who once walked together began moving in separate directions.
Wow. Yeah.
So how do you fix this? Keep God at the center. Number 1. Okay, not just the picture. God's in the picture, but is he in the center? Okay, you both love God, but is he in the center? Okay, you have to keep him in the center. So pray together, read scriptures, worship, and we know as a church we know all of this, but sometimes you can go through the motions,
Yeah.
Religiously, and you can do it. Listen to this: you can do it when you're at church, but what about at home?
Yeah.
that's where it really counts. That's where it really matters. Okay. And here's a principle, Ecclesiastes 4:12. A 3-band cord is not easily broken. Okay. A 3-band. Me, you, and God. Okay.
Yeah.
Or put it like this: me, God, and you. However, so that's, so when a husband and a wife move closer to God, they naturally move closer to each other. You remember that pyramid deal they had where God is at the top and the husband over here and the wife is over here in the pyramid, and as both of them move closer to God,
They're
they
moving up,
automatically moving
yeah.
closer to one another, and that's the way that works. Okay, here's a 6th issue that will kind of tie all of these together. Okay, it's the underline of all 5 of them, and it's a word that is a powerful word, and it's called selfish.
Yeah.
When you look at this, all of what we just talked about is and why this happens a lot of times is because of selfishness. The other person is thinking more about themselves than they are about their spouse. Okay, so marriages break down when 2 people focus more on being right than being one. Yeah, we're supposed to focus on being one, not being right.
Right. Yes.
Okay,
Good.
so the cure: move from my need to our need. Okay, from you owe me to how can I serve you.
Yeah.
Okay, I still owe you $5, though.
You do.
Here's a biblical principle in Philippians 2:3. In humility, value others above yourself. In humility, value others above yourself. So here's a simple, here you can put it like this in restoring a formula to restore marriage. Okay, talk. That means you got to communicate. Talk. Open your mouth. Just talk. Set some time aside. If you have kids, put them to bed. Do whatever it is, and get together and just talk. Don't take offense to what the other one is saying. Let that person communicate how they feel about what you said, what you did, what you didn't do, whatever that is, and just let them talk. And then the same way with you. Just talk. When you communicate, you'd be surprised. When you communicate from a mature standpoint, from a mature mindset, you'd be surprised how much you can resolve. How much you can resolve, and then forgive, release resentment. You have to release the resentment because sometimes it's a big one because things happen. It doesn't matter that it was so long ago. It was because it was so often, and it's hard to let go of that. But this is where you have to ask the Holy Spirit to help you,
Yes.
to heal your heart. Okay, release that resentment. So you have to forgive them. You have to
Yes.
forgive and let go because see, forgiveness is really not about the other person. It's about you.
yourself.
It's about yourself. Pursue. So protect intimacy. Protect it. Don't let anyone come in between the intimacy between you and your spouse. You guard that. You protect that. And you don't let anything interrupt that. Okay, and then agree. Become partners. That's what partners do. Partners agree.
Yes.
So if you're in a relationship and you're not agreeing, you find yourself not being in agreement on a lot of things, then you're really not partners. Okay, partners agree. Okay, and that doesn't mean that we're going to agree on everything, but it does mean that we know how to even disagree.
Yeah.
Okay, you know how to even disagree. We're going to table that. This is just how I feel. Well, that's how you feel. Okay, and you have to respect how that other one feels about that particular situation. And if it comes up, and if it's a decision that has to be made, just need to table it. Just table it for them. Just table it. And then pray. Keep God in the center. So, yeah. So the goal of marriage is not to find perfect spouses. It's to become the right spouse and continue choosing one another.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, becoming the right spouse. Because neither one of us was perfect. Yeah, we weren't perfect. We chose each other. We weren't perfect, but down through the years, we learned how to position ourselves to become the right spouse.
Yeah.
Okay, so become the writes about. So anyway.
Where's the one you wrote about the multiplication?
Oh, that's
a good
going to be
one.
another one.
Oh, that's not this one?
That's going to be another, that's going to be
Oh,
another
okay, that's a
part.
good one.
That's one all by itself.
Okay.
We could not put that in here. That's too much.
Yeah.
They would have exploded. No, we're going to do that one. That's going to be our next one.
Okay.
That's
Cool.
going to be our next one. We're going to be talking about, why the enemy attacks marriages, why he attacks it. So anyway, hopefully something was said to help you, to encourage you, to enlighten you, to give you some tools that you can use in whatever it is that you may go through, And listen, we try to keep it 100. Right, and sometimes we share the good, the bad, and the ugly, and we don't have shame because we move past, so many things that we feel comfortable enough to share with you some of those things that we suffered, some of those things that we went through, and hopefully, by listening, you may not have to even go through it, or you can shorten the time, you can shorten that time. So anyway, hey, we love you guys so much. Listen, send this to someone that you think might can use this information. And until next time, thank you for joining Marriage Connection. I'm Pastor Ray.
I'm Pastor Felicia.
And we'll see you all on the flip side. Okay? What do we see on the flip side?
I don't know.
Are we gonna flip? Okay, y'all. We're going to edit that out. Oh, we live. You can't edit it out,
No,
right?
we can't.
All right. Bye. We love y'all.